When it comes to the three major carriers, Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile, it can be hard to decide which one is best for you. So in this video, I'm breaking down the top 3 pros and cons of Verizon to see if they really are worth it. To start off for Verizon, we are going over the top 3 pros. Reasons why maybe you should switch to Verizon or stay with Verizon. Number 1 is going to be perks. Now this one kind of has a caveat at the end. Verizon has a wide library of perks to choose from. I really do appreciate that. However, they don't come free, but they do come discounted at $10 a pop. So if you don't want to have to pay full price for a subscription of sorts, you might be able to get it for cheaper on Verizon. Now, to learn more about these Verizon perks and add-ons, you can watch a video up here where I break down everything you need to know about Verizon's perks. The second pro to Verizon is their 4G network. It is strong. It's the strongest out there. AT&T and T-Mobile don't even come close to beating them. They have really stood their ground and stayed king/queen of 4G coverage. Now, you can't really go wrong with Verizon unless you live in northern Maine, northern Idaho, parts of Utah, Nevada, and Texas. Otherwise, Verizon has pretty stacked coverage. The last pro, and one of the best reasons to be on Verizon, is the fact that they offer bundle deals for their home internet. In fact, I have taken advantage of this before with my roommates being Verizon customers. We got incredibly cheap and strong home internet with their Verizon wireless internet options. Now, one thing to know is that although it was great for me, if you don't have great Verizon coverage where you live, then that home internet might not be worth it. The bundles might not be a thing you want to do. But that is the third pro to Verizon, the fact that you can get incredibly cheap, highly discounted home internet with your cell phone plan. Now, those are pretty strong pros from Verizon, but let's check out the cons because they are there. The first con is going to be price. Verizon, right out the gate, has always been competitive in the high price range. They've always stayed up there. They've always been one of the more expensive options, and that is still the case. They do come in second place next to T-Mobile for price, but they are still not cheap. Their plans start out at $65, which isn't too bad. It goes to $85 next, and then $90. Now, that is technically cheaper than T-Mobile, but if you were to create a plan on Verizon that rivals T-Mobile, you would need to add on some perks, and that would cost you another $20 to $30, which then puts you over T-Mobile by $20 to $30. So the value just isn't there for Verizon like it is for T-Mobile. The second con for Verizon is their 5G coverage. Now, we know their 4G coverage is amazing, but their 5G coverage is nothing to write home about. In fact, they have the least amount of 5G coverage from the 3 major carriers. Now, that might change. In fact, I have a strong inkling that will change later this year. They are going to be really competitive, but for 5G, as we know it right now, it just is not worth it. The last con is the fact that Verizon doesn't have many postpaid options when it comes to their cell phone plans. There are only 3, and they're not that different from each other. They mostly just range in cost, and then the amount of data you get either increases or decreases with how much you pay. They're very plain. They're very beige. I don't love it. I would like to see a little bit more intrigue in these plans, offering some perks or offering something to set them apart. But as they stand right now, the value just isn't there for the cost of these pretty basic plans. Let me know what you have to say. Am I missing anything for either of these lists? I'd love to hear from you. I'm Sherry, your telecom expert with WhistleOut.